you are a student or a book girly, you know trying to balance the time you want to read and the time you need to study is so hard when one is obviously more appealing than the other. Well, that is what I will be tackling for today, or technically this week. If you watch booktubers or you like watching book content, you've definitely seen the videos where it's just like substituting the amount of times I've picked up my phone for pages just so they can get off their phone more, or they can read more pages, catch up with their reading. And that's kind of what I'm going to be doing today. But I'm either going to read for 2 hours straight and then study for an hour and then continue with the rest of the pages that I need to read with the amount of times I picked up my phone from last week. Or I'm going to read half of the pages that I need to read, study for an hour, and then read half. The goal is to just catch up with my reading while also studying, because I think I have to take my test in like a month. So that's what I'm going to be doing today, or this week, Monday through Friday. If we go through my screen time history from last week with the amount of pickups that I had, let me see. Wait, when was last week? Last week was the 18th through the 22nd. So on the 18th, I picked up my phone 200 times. And messages and Libby were the most. So that's great. I guess we're going to start off with 200 pages. What I could do is read 100 and then study for an hour, maybe an hour and a half, depending how long it takes me to read that 100 pages. And then read the next 100 pages. I think I like the idea of doing that, just because it's like 200 straight. The book I decided to start off with was The Hunger Games by Susan Collins. Everyone knows what The Hunger Games is. If you haven't read the book, you've definitely watched the movie. I have yet to read the book, so that is why I'm starting this off. I asked you guys, I think a couple days ago, which book should I read first? Either The Ballad of Never... No, that is a different book. The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, which is the prequel of the Hunger Games trilogy, or if I should just read the Hunger Games and then go with the trilogy and then read that last. And you guys, by a lot, actually chose the Hunger Games. So that is what I will be reading for this challenge, or today. This book isn't really even that long. I feel like if I already have to read 200, I'll only have like 100 and something left. So we'll see how that goes. I guess let's start with the reading. Okay, so it's definitely been a while. I think it's been like an hour and a half. And I'm on page 61. So at least I've gotten somewhat into it. I know I'm kind of behind, especially since it's already 5:15, but I'm sure I'm gonna get the ball rolling. I think every hour and a half I'm gonna stop so I can study for at least 45 minutes, which I think is a good amount of time. I don't really have the biggest time span, especially when it comes to things that I'm not really in the mood to like researching about and stuff like that. So I feel like 45 minutes is going to give me enough time to really just get as much done in that little bit of time period, like time frame, if that makes sense, instead of just like a whole like 60 minutes or an hour and a half, which I don't feel like would be very effective, especially if I get distracted easily. So I think if I just go head on into me working for 45 minutes, it'll be more effective, especially if it's in increments. Yeah, in increments, if that makes sense. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. I think when I'm on the 100-page mark, I'm gonna give a little update on this book. But it's been really good so far, especially since I've already watched the movie. I already know what happens, but I love all the extra details that I'm getting and the background that most movies don't give, especially since everyone knows that the book is always better than the movie. So this is really interesting. And now I really want to do this with Harry Potter, just because I love Harry Potter and I've rewatched the movies like so many times. I'm rewatching them right now with my mom. So yeah, I'm gonna just go straight ahead and start studying. Yay. They changed the Disney Plus logo. The colors. That's so random, but I just opened my iPad and I saw that. I kind of want to play chess right now. I'm not going to do that, but I do want to play chess. That's okay. Hi guys, morning. It's the next day, and I did get up to chapter 16, which is page 208. So I'm happy I did, on a technicality, finish 200 pages yesterday. But today, I think I actually have less to do today. I'm hoping I have less anyway. Let me see. And when was Tuesday? Tuesday was March 19th. 150. Thank God, because starting off with 200 was actually kind of crazy. So I have 150 pickups to do, or pages to read today. It's going to be 11 in like 3 minutes. So I'm going to probably read until 12:30, and then I'll probably eat while I do some homework. So far, a lot has happened. I'm like in the middle of the games right now, so it's kind of really intense, and I'm really excited to get to really finish this book. I obviously know what happens already, but I really love everything that I've been reading, and honestly, now I feel like every time I watch the movie, it's not going to be the same. I can't imagine that. Like, thinking that, it's kind of heartbreaking, but at the same time, I love that I'm reading this book just because it's so good, and I can't wait to be able to get more books. Necessarily on a book buying ban, but I told myself I'm not allowed to buy any more books unless I have the money, or, you know, unless it's a part of a series. So who knows, maybe I'll get this book. I really want to get Thank You for Listening, because I read that in February or last month, and I don't have the book, so I really want to get a copy of Thank You for Listening by, is it Julia Wheeler? No. Thank you for listening. If you know, you know what I mean. If you know what I mean, you know what I mean, you know? What? Okay, Rue and Katniss just cleaned up. Peeta saved her life. That was a really confusing thing from her, but she thought she was just hallucinating from the tracker wasp or whatever. So far it's getting intense, and I'm intrigued to see how everything is written out. I'm still using my earring as a bookmark, but I'm reading another book right now, like on my own, like before starting this, and I haven't finished it. So that's my bookmark. Anyways, hopefully I'll finish that book so then I can finally use a regular bookmark, but my earring it is so far. It is now 11, and I shall see you guys at 11:30 at where I'm at with the 150 pages that I have to read today. Oh my gosh. Guys, Rue is dying. I can't. When I was a kid, I actually cried when she died. Guys, I have about an hour left of reading, and the dogs just came. They're running. They're running. Also, I found this old bookmark that I made in like freshman year. So I thought that was so pretty cool that I had. It says, never discourage anyone who continuously makes progress, no matter how slow. Guys, I'm dyslexic and I've never really properly learned how to read cursive. I'm dyslexic and I never really properly learned how to read cursive. So, Plato said that. Awesome. Beautiful. Another one to the now pile of 3? 4? I don't know. I got some for my birthday, so that was cool. Literally so close to being done. I have literally like an hour worth of reading, so I'm gonna get it done tonight and then I can figure out what I'm gonna read tomorrow because I have no idea. Yeah. Hi guys, it is a new day and I did end up finishing The Hunger Games yesterday night. It was like, I think 11:30 or 11:45 when I finished this book. It was so close to midnight. After reading my 150 pages, I realized that I had like less than 20 pages left of the book and I was just like, let me just lock down in general. But my camera died and I had the most interesting reactions to most of the ending of this book, and it was so infuriating because I never even recorded my facial expressions when I was like, for certain parts, like the good parts, especially like the most reaction parts that I normally get whenever I'm watching the movie, and I would look up and then I'm realizing, oh, I'm not even recording. I'm just reading. That being said, I really did enjoy this book. Me reading it so fast was generally pretty easy just because I already knew a bunch of chunks in this book. I just didn't know how they were thinking because obviously it's Does that make sense? It's the book, the writer's writing the words of the thoughts of the characters, and they can't obviously say it out loud when you're in a movie. So I thought that was really fun to just enjoy doing and reading and trying to figure out everything that's been processing. Especially, I didn't realize how confused Katniss was towards her feelings toward, like, with Peeta. I guess that kind of confused me going into the second movie whenever I watched it, just because, like, they never ended up doing anything, and that's because I realized closer to the end. And I really do want to watch the movie today, so I'll probably do that later tonight. If I'm still trying to dock in some reading, I'll probably just watch the movie while I'm reading the book that I'm reading next, which, the next book that I'm reading is Heartless Hunter by Kristen, I'll try, Cicerelli. I'm pretty sure I'm saying that wrong. But, I did start it this morning. It took me like a good 30 minutes to really figure out what I was in the mood for and what I was dying to read. I was kind of dreaming about the Natural series last night, but then I realized that I was more in the mood of fantasy and just, I don't know, I actually don't really know what the Natural series is about, but I think it's like a thriller or murder mystery, or I think it's a mystery kind of book. I could be wrong. I really like to go blind into things, and I bought the whole series, so obviously I'm really interested in reading it, but I thought I would just make a separate video for that since I really like making videos for certain series that I'm reading. On that note, I did pick up Heartless Hunter. It was the book of the month for February, and I did not read it in February, so I'm gonna read it now. I feel kind of productive reading a book of the month, even though it's not even the month that it came out. I could read the book of the month that's supposed to be for March, which the one that I got is Listen for the Lie by Amy something. But I did start this morning. I've been kind of reading it on and off, so I'm 50 pages in, and today, on Wednesday, I need to read, 225 pages. Oh my gosh. I was on my phone a lot last week, hence why I decided to do this video, but I'm sure this isn't even a lot compared to like other YouTubers or like booktubers that you've seen do this challenge, but this is just a lot for me because I guess I'm not really used to reading this many books in so little time. Some people will really just binge a fast-paced book in a day. As much as I would love to do that, sometimes I just get so consumed with school and stuff like that. Hence why I'm doing this, so I can kind of dock in my reading. So I can kind of knock out some reading while also keeping up with my schoolwork and still studying and whatnot. Also, my allergies today, I don't know what's wrong, but I think since it's getting warmer and it was raining a lot last week, it just kind of confused my nasal something. So yeah, sorry if I sound a little weird, but I'm probably gonna I think I'm gonna do some homework because I have been reading on and off since this morning, but I'm probably gonna do some homework for maybe about an hour, and then from 2:30 probably until 3:30 I'll read. Okay, and then after that I do have to edit, so I do need to do some work for that. So we'll see how much I really do get done while there's still daylight out, and then I'll read more, just because this book is getting really, really good. Guys, it has been a whole day, obviously, since it's night out now, but today I have to read like 199 pages, but rounding that up, realistically I need to read 200 pages, and that means I need to finish this book that I just... So I need to pick another book, and I'm already thinking about another book. Oh. But I don't know, because I really, really, really want to read Powerless by Lauren Roberts, but I don't know. Oh my gosh. This book, by the way, sorry, okay, I just saw the TikTok sound of a short where it was like, you know, she asked me what my favorite color was, and then that whole quote, and I was just like, I was freaking out. And I still am a little bit, but let me compose myself. This book has been getting so good. Oh my gosh, this book right here. It's progressively just consuming my every thinking thought. I've been like swallowing this book. I love it so much. I'm ready to read like a whole 200 pages sitting down right now. Like, hands down. I'm so ready. Good. Like, it's been so good so far. At first I was just like, oh, they're not even really enemies. Like, how does that even make sense? You know what I mean? I was wrong. Clearly I was wrong, because it just progressively just keeps on getting better and better. I try and kind of play clueless for the obvious romance parts, if that makes sense. But when it comes to like the plot and me thinking about stuff like that, it kind of like intertwines with each other, and that's kind of why I love fantasy romance so much. Just because it's just like it's a beautiful fantasy world with a subplot of romance, and this is exactly what this is. And I'm just loving, I'm eating every bit of it. Like, it's giving, it's serving its purpose. And so far we're following Rune and Gideon. Gideon is the older brother to her best friend, her guy best friend. And her guy best friend has been in love with her since they were like 13. She's always kind of had a little crush on Gideon, which is her guy best friend's oldest brother. Her guy best friend's name is Alex, I'm pretty sure. Pretty much this story is just about witches and witch hunters. Gideon is a witch hunter. Wow, okay. Gideon is a witch hunter and Rune is a witch. But she also is known as the Crimson Moth because she smuggles out witches. There was like this whole thing where a bunch of witches were purged. Even now, witches aren't safe. Most of them had ran or gotten killed. And now the whole point of them courting is because Gideon thinks that Rune is the Crimson Moth, or in allegiance with her, because he has intel that her ships were smuggling out witches. And obviously Rune needs Gideon because he's the captain of the Blood Guards, so he'll know where her grandmother's best friend is, Seraphine, so she can talk to her and save her and whatnot. Like, that's the whole point of everything right now. This story is just so easy to follow. I love everything so far. Like, clearly I'm just remembering everything that's been going on since starting it. It's been an amazing journey. I feel like this book is so fast paced. It's so easy to just like binge. Yesterday I couldn't read as much. That's why today I had to finish my 225 pages, because I think I only got 100 pages in yesterday, so I had to read 125 because I was at my dad's and then I was babysitting my sister. So now I'm getting into my 200 pages now at night. That's pretty much all I really want to say. That was like kind of a summary, an overview, I guess, of what's been happening. Guys, it's Friday. Well, it's actually the end of Friday, but I just got home from doing church Friday for Shabbat. I got home not too long ago, and like 5 minutes ago I finished the book. Wait, let me get the cover. Okay, let me just tell you, this book is so I'm still turned up about it, but it literally rips your heart out. Like, this book was so good. This book was so good. Like, it gave me so many emotions. I feel like it was just the right amount of description, but also text, if that makes sense. Like, them dialogue. I feel like when a book is in third person, and if it doesn't, like, and if it has the right amount of dialogue, it can be such a good book. And this is what this book was. This is only book 1 too. The things that happened, it's just like those little hints that you can tell going throughout the book. At first you're not thinking much, it's just like, oh, it's a side note, but then it grows and it grows, and that's what I love about fantasy books. You just like, it's like a whole mystery, and I love it. Fantasy books are just something else. It's a whole world, so you're trying to decipher, and it's just, especially on the first book. This book is so good. Oh my gosh. Today I was supposed to read 130 pages. Well, I finished the book, so I definitely did read a lot today, but I read the pages I was supposed to read yesterday, so I haven't read technically 130. So I think for Saturday and Sunday, instead of just like using all of Saturday just to read, I'm gonna mainly study and finish up my homework before school starts on Monday. But I'm gonna try and see if I can finish. I'm gonna try and see if I can finish The House Across the Lake by Riley Sager. I'm reading this book for another video that I'm doing, and I really just want to get into it just because I'm only on page 40. Actually, I know it. I think I'm on page 50 something. I was reading on my phone because I borrowed it on Libby, so I'm gonna be going back and forth on that, and I've been listening to it, so I'm going to be going back and forth reading on it on the book, on my phone, and then listening to it. This book is a thriller, and I really think it would be interesting to listen to it on Spotify. I know I've heard a couple YouTubers or booktubers say that listening to a thriller book or a murder mystery is just like a whole nother level, and it feels like you're actually in the story itself. So that seems really cool, and I really want to go in between that. So I'll probably read along some while listening. I think I have like 9 hours left of the book. Going back to Heartless Hunter, I definitely think you should read it. Book of the month definitely chose an amazing book for their February box, because wow, that was just wow. I really wish I had gotten their other fantasy book for the March box, but I was in the mood for thriller, so I got one of the thriller options. I can't wait for the next book. I'm just like, I'm ready for the next book. I don't even know how long this series is going to be. I don't know if it's going to be a trilogy or a whole thing, but I'm very excited to see where this is going, and I don't know, what would I rate it? That's the thing, it's just like, I don't know what I would rate this book. Like, I want to say I'm in between 4.75 or 5 stars. Like, this book was so good. And it's YA, so no spice. Everything was dragged out beautifully. Oh my gosh, the slow burn was crazy, but at the same time it's like, oh my gosh. Okay, I'm gonna stop raving, but yeah, let's see if the next 2 days I'm gonna spend most of my hours studying and finishing up homework, but let's see if I can finish this by Sunday. I'm not gonna do a certain amount of pages each day, I'm just gonna be reading, so yeah. Honestly, guys, I've been doing homework all day, and I just need to relax. I need to relax. I have my matcha here. I'm gonna read some pages, hopefully get more than 10% through of the book, and I'm gonna relax, and then I have to do more homework because I only have been doing math, but math is just so like time consuming, so I just want to read. I'm in between watching The Little Mermaid and reading right now, but I'm gonna watch The Little Mermaid tonight. I need to figure out where I am because I've been going back and forth on Spotify Premium, so I need to listen to it and try and figure out where I am. Guys, it's already midnight. Oh, ow, bro, I just popped my shoulder. Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that? Oh my gosh. I feel like I'm gonna end up staying up until like 2 o'clock in the morning just doing this homework. I haven't even finished like a good chunk of it. You guys just see the amount of work that I have to do. It's already midnight. Wait, I already said that. I barely read today, so that's great. But you know, we're going strong. I have a burst of energy. I had my matcha kind of late today, so you know, we're back at it. And my music is just really helping. Without music, without Spotify, I don't know what I would do. I really don't, because I'm slowly dying. Also, I watched The Little Mermaid while I ate dinner, so I caved. It was, I needed to. And now I want to watch Beauty and the Beast. Monday, and I spent my Easter Sunday just enjoying the sun and actually going out for at least for one day before I had to go back to school. Just to wrap up this video, I finished The Hunger Games on Monday and Tuesday. It was really good. I definitely see why they wanted to make it a movie. I actually watched the movie yesterday, and the difference of how the two characters are from the book and then the movie, and then certain scenes that I noticed that they didn't add and then altered in the actual movie. I thought it was really good. It was very interesting. I'm definitely excited to read the rest of the series, especially now that they have it on Netflix. The next book I read was Heartless Hunter. As you know, I also finished this in like 3 days just because I was off with my pages or pickups that I had to do. This book was so good. It had me like hooked from day one. I finished it so quickly. I'm sure I could have finished it even faster if I weren't babysitting my sister and stuff like that. But this book was really good. I loved it so much. I am so happy I picked this out from Book of the Month. It just made me want to go into a fantasy kick. The next book that I had chosen was The House Across the Lake by Riley Sager, which I thought was kind of funny because I used to think Riley Sager was a she, because the main character in this book is a she, but I was wrong. This book is so interesting. I'm still not done with it. I actually have to figure out where I am because I've been listening to it and reading it on my phone today. But yeah, I'm about 100 or so pages in. So that's what I read Saturday and Sunday. Between those 2 days, I read about 100 and something pages. In total, that is something that I have to look into because in total, I have no idea how many pages I read. So this week, not including the books that I read on my own, because I did finish a book on my own this week, and not including Saturday and Sunday with Riley Sager, I read 900 pages. Honestly, I feel like that's not a lot, but at the same time, I feel like that's a lot. 900 pages doesn't seem like that much, but at the same time, like, that's a lot. Like, that's a lot of pages that you're consuming with your hours and days. It just feels like I could have done more, if that makes sense. But 900 pages is crazy. I was not expecting that. And I was adding in studying and working out and like my daily stuff. I don't know, maybe it's just because I'm a slow reader. I feel like I could have done more, but you know what? I read and it was fun. What I think would be crazy is if I did like my screen time hours, because sometimes I'll have like 6 hours on my phone. I think that's the most I've ever had, and it was Wednesday that day. I had to read 225 pages. That was kind of crazy, but, and I don't know, I think the least hours I've had on my phone in a normal week, I think is about 3 hours. But still, 3 hours of reading is a lot. Most people can dock down like over half, or actually, no, I'm just gonna say it just because Destiny is Destiny. If you know Destiny, you know that she's a fast reader. I'm sure she can read like almost 50% of a book in about 3 hours, like straight, maybe even more, who knows. But this was really fun. I'm glad I had a productive week, and I also got to do this because I wanted to do it for a while, and I got some reading done, which was pretty cool. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, subscribe, you know, all that other stuff. And I'll see you guys in the next one.